Assessing writing, assessing learning grew out of work that I was doing with a writing center at a big university in the US that had a lot of programs that they were trying to start up. And I began to really think about programs of instruction as a unit, and realizing that there are many, many different configurations for programs. In the context where I was working at the time, we were running workshop series for engineering departments. We were training TAs in a biology department. We were assessing incoming students for their writing abilities for a school of pharmacy. And each one of those programs had a different method of instruction, it had a different content focus, and it also had a different set of knowledge that we needed to know about the writers, the students. But I began to realize that those programs are kind of the tip of the iceberg. There also are things like after-school clubs in high school where creative writing is the focus. There may be a community center that's got a program. The common denominator in all of these programs, or the common denominator that's always interested me, is that whatever the configuration, we need to be accountable to different people. First and foremost, we have to be accountable to our students, and we have to be able to talk with them about what they're learning. We have to be able to talk about what students are learning to whoever's paying for the program. That may be a dean, it may be a department chair, it may be a funding agency. Increasingly, especially in higher ed in the United States and really around the world, we also have accountability demands in the form of institutional effectiveness plans. All of these varied contexts can be addressed under the rubric of assessing writing programs and programs of instruction. And this book is really a how-to. How do we go about having a principled process for assessing these programs of instruction, whether it's that high school after-school program, the biology series of workshops. And what I'm most proud of about this book is that it doesn't just say, here's some tools that you can do. Here's some rubrics that you can use to evaluate writing. But instead it says, we need to start with actually planning how assessment will be an integral part of the program. When will we collect information? Why are we collecting information, and what are we going to do with it? So we plan, then it does provide the real resources that you need. And I've tried to kind of open up this notion of how do you assess writing, because I think everybody knows about rubrics, and we're used to that. But there are other ways to measure what people know about writing. We can ask them questions about what their process is, their confidence level. We can do focus groups with groups of writers. We can watch and observe a classroom. We can observe a writing consultation session. But each of these situations, we still have to have some concrete ways to get the data, get the information out of those situations. And so those resources are in the book. But it continues on beyond the data collection and even the data analysis to say the final stage is the reporting. And that if you don't have put a lot of thought into how you're going to share this information, the best data, the best analysis can fall flat. And so I've really tried to break apart this process, say you've got to do planning, you've got to have a good data collection and analysis stage, And then you got to put a lot of thought into the reporting and who you're reporting to. And so there are actually examples of reports on writing assessment in the book. It's also just, and I think the other thing I'm proud is that there are all these examples in there. So I think in that way it'll be a very useful product for many different audiences.